Hello, and welcome to episode number 166 of the Savvy Social Podcast. We are a show all about helping business owners and social media managers learn the how and the why of social media marketing. And if you're looking for a place to start, our free course is the absolute best place you can go. We've got so much information in there. There's a ton of mini lessons that you can use to study up on social media strategies. We've got a workbook and we've got done for you posts. So you can literally just steal our captions, steal our graphics, and get a huge jumpstart to your social media strategy. You can find that free course by going to onlinedrea.com/free. That's onlinedrea.com/FREE. And I'll put that link in the show notes. And anything we talk about in this episode will be in the show notes as well. That's onlinedrea.com/166. Okay, so you can find the show notes there. All of the links, all the juicy tidbits, everything you want to know is there. I'm super excited to invite Julie O'Hara to the show. She has been working inside of my agency since the beginning of 2020 and has been an amazing resource. And I honestly can't believe it's taken me this long to share her with y'all here on the podcast. But Julie has been running ads since 2019 when she started her Facebook ads consultancy, but she was running ads long before that in her previous health coaching business. Now she helps online business owners use the most advanced advertising tools available to grow and reach new people which is endlessly rewarding for her. She specializes in list building, launching, and evergreen ads for small and medium-sized businesses. And she also loves teaching other service providers how to run ads for clients. You can reach out to her, and I'll put her email in the show notes. But Julie, thank you so much for being on the show today.
Hi, I am thrilled to be here.
I'm so excited to just pick your brain about all things ads because, like I said in the intro, truly you have been a resource to us at the agency and for our clients. So you used to own a health coaching business. Talk to me about that.
Correct. So it really just started out as a food blog. I've always loved food, and I actually used to do recipe development before my online business adventure. So I've kind of always been in food, and I'm like, I realized that I personally had IBS, and I found recipes and diets for IBS and for helping you just manage your IBS, that's irritable bowel syndrome. So I wanted to start a blog for that, and I did that. And as soon as I, started Googling how do I market my blog and optimize my blog, that's when I discovered the whole world of online business and lead magnets and courses and coaching. And I went down that rabbit hole and in 2015, and I'm still down it, I guess.
I love it. I think there's like a natural progression to, I wanted to figure this out for myself. And then suddenly I have all of this information in my brain and I can no longer not remember it.
Exactly.
So when you started your ads business to now, ads have changed a lot over the years. So talk to us a little bit about some of that evolution of specifically Facebook advertising.
Sure. Let's see. When I started, I created my first really successful ad for my lead magnet, which was a shopping list. It was the simplest thing in the world, just, with all the foods that were safe for, your IBS diet. I made this GIF using Canva. Like that was when Canva first had this GIF function, and you could it just had text and bad images. It wasn't anything good. It wasn't even like video. And I was getting leads for 60 cents a lead. So a lot of things have changed. I think you do have to be a little more, a little more creative and push yourself a little further with your ads, with your videos and your images and your targeting. But you're also not getting leads for 60 cents anymore. It can happen if you are just that unicorn business, but ad costs have increased, and that's just because of competition and lack of space in the feed. Facebook can only show so many ads in a single day, and everybody wants to advertise on Facebook because it's just the best platform for businesses of all sizes. You can do so many things. You can target so specifically and reach so many people. So that's kind of the bigger picture of how it's changed. And of course, there have been a lot of smaller changes and tech related changes, such as the iOS 14.5 update, which just happened in April.
Oh, yes. I want to get into that because up until that point, I feel like even up until the beginning of 2021, there was still a lot of power that Facebook ads had. And there's almost this idea in the online space where you put in $1 and Facebook ads gives you like $10.
Yeah, it's a
Now
money
I feel like
machine.
it's like a money machine, which it still is to some people, but I think it's more like you put in $1 and maybe you'll get $3 back. It's no more like you put in $1 and 10x that money or
Right.
instantly, right? And that changed so much more with this new iOS update. So talk to me about the iOS update and specifically what it means for small business owners.
For small business owners, I think it means you really just have to look at your whole customer journey a lot more carefully. So, the big thing that changed is that we can't follow every little step a person takes once they click on our ad and visit our website. We used to be able to, I mean, we could see everything, whether it was in Google Analytics or in Facebook, we could see everything they did. And now we can't track them to that great of a degree. We can still see if they became a lead. We can still see if they made a purchase. But that's the big change for us. Everything that we do advertising on Facebook, like if you just want people to watch your video on Facebook, that hasn't changed. You can still target people, you can still create those same audiences. And back to the customer journey. So this is when you are sending people off of Facebook and the tracking isn't as granular as it used to be. You just want to make sure that you are doing everything to make the most out of your ad spend. Like you are optimizing your landing page. You're optimizing the experience they have when they get on your email list. You're sending, if you have a free offer that you're giving them, give that to them right away. Follow it up with an introductory email so they can learn about you and maybe put them in an email sequence that lets them learn about you and your business so that every step of that customer journey is leading them toward a purchase. And ultimately, them purchasing your thing is what's going to give you return on the ad spend. So that's the name of the game. It's put that money into Facebook and you don't get 10x back, but you wait and you nurture and you optimize and then you get money back. And maybe it will be 10x once you do this long enough and really work on that customer journey.
Oh, yes. And I think this kind of ties into just social media in general. We kind of got into this period where we want instant gratification, right? Like we want things instantly. I mean, with Amazon, you order something, it's here in hours, minutes, it feels like. You can have whatever food you want delivered to your door. And so I do find that with Facebook ads, sometimes we expect that same thing, the instant gratification. I put up an ad today, I make a sale tomorrow, but that's not always how it works. And especially in my business, it takes some nurturing, right? There's a lot of people who teach social media management. So when they find me through a Facebook ad, maybe then they're listening to the podcast, they're in the free course, maybe they sign up for a webinar or a workshop, they see my weekly emails, and then they join the program. So there's quite a bit of a gap between the time they see the ad and when they join the program. And I think that's normal. Let's normalize this, right?
Absolutely. And what you just did was you described your customer journey. So, if you can't, like listeners, if you can't kind of go through like Andrea just went through, then stop and like really think about it and look at it. And what are those points that you can create a greater relationship with them and build that relationship? Like, are you sending them a link to your podcast in those emails? Are you showing them your Instagram content and asking them to follow you on Instagram? So are you creating those opportunities to nurture and build that relationship?
Yeah. Okay. With that being said, for business owners who are thinking about starting ads, how do they know when it's a good time to like dive into the world of, Facebook, Instagram ads or any online advertising?
I love this question. And the answer is actually fairly simple. It's if you have a offer, a product, a service, a course, a coaching experience that people are buying. People are regularly buying your thing. It's working. It's making you money. Then you're ready for ads. The offer is the most important thing. Like I said before, you're going to put that money into the Facebook money machine. And when they finally purchase your thing, that's when the money comes back to you. So if you have an offer, then I think you're a good candidate for ads, an offer that sells.
Yes. I love that too, because it's so easy to just give Facebook your money and
Mhm.
they will take it gladly.
Yeah, yeah.
So you kind of have to have something that you know people want to purchase first before diving into ads. So let's say we started working with ads. How do we know if it's actually working, especially if it takes some time before we see a return on that investment?
Yeah, excellent question. So when you first start with ads, give yourself both time and budget for testing. So by testing, I mean just kind of getting yourself familiar with doing this, with creating those ads and looking at them every day and looking at your metrics and playing around with the ads manager and all the metrics they show you. And obviously, if you're getting leads, you have a lead magnet, you're starting out with an ad for someone to get your free download. If you're getting leads at a cost that you're happy with, then it's working, but you definitely sometimes it doesn't work right away. So you might need to test different audiences. You might need to test different objectives in ads manager, things like that. So it really is giving yourself time and patience and learning about how this all works. Doing something like the Savvy Social School, where I teach strategy hours and I have classes that you can do in the school on demand. So doing that learning and just being really patient with it.
Yes, and it is learning. I know sometimes as adults we just want to know, I
Yeah.
wish I just knew how to do this, and we're so hard on ourselves. But honestly, the Facebook Ads Manager world, like going into Ads Manager, it's a lot. Like you definitely
Yes.
need some support there.
Absolutely.
Um, yeah. Okay. So let's talk about what's new and exciting with ads. So you recently taught this class in the school where you talked about Instagram Reel ads. Tell me
Yes.
more.
Those are brand new. And of course, everybody knows, if you listen to the show, you probably know that reels are the trendiest content piece right now on Instagram. And it's basically it's TikTok as well. It came from the whole TikTok world, right? And the new thing, and this is only a couple weeks old, is that Reels is now a placement in Ads Manager. So when I say placement, it's the where your ad shows up. Is it the Instagram feed, the Facebook feed, stories, all of those? So now there's that section for Reels in your Instagram app. You click on that and you're seeing all the Reels. Some of those will be ads, sponsored content. And so that's the new thing. So what I recommend doing is just downloading one of your organic reels that you've already created and posted and using that as an ad. Now, you can't boost it like a typical post. You have to actually download it and put it into Ads Manager. But it's a fun test to do. And if you know your audience is really engaging with your reels, then I would definitely try it.
Yes. Okay. I'm excited for this because I personally love this style of content. I mean, everyone's doing it, the vertical video style
Yeah, it's so
content.
fun. Right.
Yes. Okay. Is there anything interesting you're seeing with ads as well? Any interesting trends or styles that you see work really well right now for ads?
Well, going right along with Reels, even before this recent update with Reels, those types of videos have been working really well. And I mean, there's never one thing that works for everybody. And I see it more in the B2C world, that these just really fun TikTok style, reel style videos, story videos, they work really, really well. And I recommend you just create them in these apps so that they are as organic as they can be. And then you can use them as your ads all over Facebook. I recommend putting those videos in all placements where they can fit. And the reason they work so well is because they don't look like ads. People don't want to go on to social media and be sold to. They want to have fun. And so if you can make your content look and feel organic and still create a relationship with people, then that's a really good way to win, especially in the B2C area. But B2B can do it too.
Yeah. Okay. So you did mention something interesting, which is this concept of the post looking organic and like looking like it's in the feed. So when we're creating this organic post, how do we still make sure that we are like selling our stuff at the end of the day? Are we linking to a lead magnet along with it? What does it look like?
Well, let's talk about, yeah, if you want to get leads, then I would absolutely treat this just like you would set up any kind of lead magnet ad. And it is it is really fun when you can use these just casual videos as really it's still going to be a sales video. Like I would recommend putting text on it. You can do this in stories or reels, and it's a call to action to click the link or swipe up, or now there's stickers in Instagram to go and download your lead magnet or your free challenge or sign up for your webinar. You can absolutely do that. Another really great use of these ads is just generating engagement and video views. And then while you're doing this, you're creating a warm audience of people who've seen your videos and who've engaged with your content and who are becoming familiar with you. And then when you go to show those people your lead magnet, they're a lot more likely to opt in for it.
Gotcha. So it serves as this type of content piece where people can actually get to trust you and your message. And then you kind of serve them the lead magnet and they feel like they can, give that email address because they know you already, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes. And you know that they're interested in your stuff because they've been watching your stuff, so those lead costs are likely to be lower than if you just went out to a completely cold new audience.
Yeah. Ads do sound complicated and complex. And I want to ask the age-old boosting question because I get this a lot. Can't we just boost a post?
Yes, but you have to do it my way. So I say this, call it boosting. I use the term, and what I mean when I say boost is you're promoting your organic content, the posts that you've already created, and you're using those to build that engagement, to build an audience of people who viewed your videos. But when I say my way, I mean that do not do it on Facebook, where, they're constantly telling you, boost this post, get 10,000 engagements. Don't do that. Do it in Ads Manager. And the reason for this is that you will learn so much about how the ads platform works. So if you're new to ads and you're feeling the trepidation and the overwhelm, boost a post, but do it in Ads Manager. And there's a way, we have trainings in the school. You just go in and you select that exact post that's already in your feed, and that's all there is to it. You don't have to write any more copy. You just boost that post. And it's the same thing, but you're also going to learn how the platform works and what your options are, and you have better targeting options. So that is what I recommend.
Yes, you do get a lot more options this way, folks. So this isn't just us being petty. Like, honestly, you've got to go into Ad Manager and learn how to do it. Yes. Okay, what's a final thought or piece of advice that we should consider as we're diving into paid advertising?
Final thing to consider. I will leave you with this one. Know your audience. I think for small business owners, this is really important because none of us, and if you think that you're Coca-Cola or you're Nike, you're not. Like, you're not for everybody. So know your audience. Who are you really making this thing for? Who is this offer for? And honestly, the more specific, the better. And if you're saying my offer is for women, no, that's not specific enough. How old is she? Where does she live? What kind of job does she have? So get really specific on who your offer is for, and then speak to that person. And that's just the core of good marketing. And that's what's going to get you past any changes that happen in Facebook and with Apple, any updates to the ads platform. That core of good marketing and knowing your audience and creating offers and ads that really speak to them, that will always work.
Yes. It's like the foundations of marketing.
Yep.
You take those with you everywhere. Thank you so much, Julie. This has been amazing. Where can people find you online?
My website is heartsandbrainsconsulting.com, a very long URL. You can find me on Instagram at heartsandbrainsconsulting. And you can just send me an email if you're interested in ads consulting or training. It's Julie at heartsandbrainsconsulting.com.
I will put all of those links in the show notes as well. OnlineDrea.com/166. Thank you so much, Julie, for joining us today.
You're so welcome. It was great. Thank you.
Hey, and thank you, dear listener, for tuning into this episode of the Savvy Social Podcast. Make sure you follow us on Apple Podcasts, on Spotify. That's where we hang out. We love to see it. Next week, I am doing a roundtable interview with my account managers. Y'all, this is going to be so fun. We're going to talk about clients. We're going to talk about what we're seeing in social media, trends that we see working, trends that we see don't working, and we're going to dig in. You're basically going to pop into and be a fly on the wall for our internal conversation. It's going to be pretty cool. So join us for that episode 167 that's coming up next, and we'll see you next Tuesday. Bye for now.